People will doubt you before they even know you. They will judge your potential by your past, your background, or your mistakes. But the truth is simply, no one will believe in you until you do first. Self-belief is not noise. It is quiet confidence built in empty rooms, early mornings, and late nights when no one is watching. Before anything in your life changes on the outside, something has to change on the inside. Long before the results, the trophies, the recognition, or the respect, there has to be belief, not loud belief, not the kind you post about, the quiet kind that stays with you when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is expecting anything from you. That belief is where everything begins. People often think confidence comes after success. They think once they achieve something, then they will believe in themselves. That is a mistake. Success follows belief, not the other way around. If you wait for proof before you trust yourself, you will always be one step behind. You have to see yourself winning before the world sees it. You have to walk into challenges already convinced that you belong there, even when everything around you tries to convince you otherwise. There will be moments when nothing is going your way, when the work feels invisible, when progress feels slow, when people doubt you, question you, or ignore you completely. In those moments, belief is not optional. It is essential. Because when results are missing, belief is the only thing that keeps you moving forward. It is what pushes you to train harder, to focus longer, to get back up when falling would be easier. Believing in yourself does not mean you think you are perfect. It means you trust your willingness to improve. It means you know that even if you fail today, you will come back stronger tomorrow. That kind of belief turns pressure into motivation and fear into energy. It reminds you that setbacks are not signs to stop, but signals to grow. No one will give you confidence. No coach, no crowd, no opportunity. You earn it by showing up for yourself every single day. And once that belief becomes part of who you are, no doubt can shake it, no noise can silence it, and no obstacle can stop what you already know is possible. Because the moment you truly believe in yourself, everything else begins to follow. Belief means nothing if it is not backed by discipline. Anyone can say they believe in themselves, but discipline is what proves it when words are no longer enough. It is easy to feel confident on good days when energy is high and everything feels possible. The real test comes on the hard days, when motivation is gone, when the body is tired, and when excuses feel very convincing. That is where discipline steps in and separates those who truly believe from those who only talk about it. Discipline is not about punishment or restriction. It is about respect. Respect for your goals, your potential, and the standards you set for yourself. When you believe in where you want to go, you don't wait to feel ready. You show up anyway. You train when no one is watching. You prepare when others are resting. You choose consistency over comfort because you understand that the greatness is built in repetition, not in moments. There will be days when you don't feel like pushing yourself. Days when skipping the work would be easy and no one would notice. But discipline is doing it even then, not because someone is forcing you, but because you expect it from yourself. That expectation becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your identity. Over time, discipline turns effort into routine and pressure into control. True belief creates structure. It creates standards you refuse to lower. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop looking for shortcuts. You understand that progress is not dramatic. It is quiet, steady, and demanding. Every disciplined decision may feel small in the moment, but together they build something unbreakable. Discipline also teaches patience. It reminds you that results take time, and that consistency always wins in the end. When others give up because they don't see immediate rewards, discipline keeps you moving forward. It keeps you focused on improvement, not applause, and eventually the work speaks for itself. If belief is the engine, discipline is the fuel. Without it, belief goes nowhere. With it, belief turns into action, action turns into results, and results turn into confidence that cannot be taken away. Because when you live with discipline, you don't just say you believe in yourself, You prove it every single day. When you choose to aim higher, you must accept that criticism will follow. It is part of the journey. The moment you decide to push beyond average, people will start to talk. Some will doubt you, some will judge you, and some will wait for you to fail. That is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are moving forward. Criticism often comes from people who see your ambition but don't understand your work. They only see the outcome, never the hours, the sacrifice, or the pressure behind it. They speak from the outside while you are living it from the inside. If you allow every opinion to slow you down, you will never reach your potential. Not because you lack ability, but because you gave your focus to the wrong voices. There will be moments when the noise feels loud, when mistakes are highlighted more than effort, when one bad performance makes people forget everything you have built. In those moments, you have a choice. You can react emotionally, or you can respond with growth. The strongest mindset is understanding that criticism is information, not an identity. Take what helps you improve and leave the rest behind. Pressure and criticism are tests of character. They ask you how badly you want it. They reveal whether your belief is real or only present when things are easy. If you truly believe in yourself, you don't need approval to stay focused. You trust your process, you trust the work you have put in, and you let your performance speak louder than any opinion. Every challenge, every doubt, every negative comment can be used as fuel. Not fuel for anger, but fuel for discipline, focus, and improvement. The goal is not to silence critics with words, but to rise above them with consistency. Over time, results change the conversation. And even then, the noise never fully disappears. You simply stop listening. If you learn to see criticism as a test, rather than a stop sign, it loses its power over you. It becomes part of your growth, not a barrier to it. Because when your belief is strong and your work is consistent, no outside voice can define you. Only your actions can. One of the biggest mistakes people make is measuring their journey against someone else's. They look left and right, compare progress, compare results, compare timing, and slowly lose focus on what actually matters. The truth is, the only real competition is the person you were yesterday. When you understand that your mindset changes, you stop chasing others and start chasing improvement. Everyone starts from a different place. Different backgrounds, different opportunities, different challenges. Comparing yourself to others ignores that reality and creates unnecessary pressure. It distracts you from your own path. Growth becomes difficult when your attention is divided. Real progress happens when your focus is clear and personal. Improvement does not have to be dramatic. It is built in small decisions made every day. One better training session. One smarter choice. One moment of discipline when it would be easier to relax. These small steps may not look impressive in the moment, but over time they create distance between who you were and who you are becoming. That distance is what confidence is built on. When you compete with your past self, failure loses its power. A bad day is no longer a reason to quit, but a reference point for learning. You ask better questions. What can I do better tomorrow? Where can I improve? That mindset turns mistakes into tools instead of obstacles. Progress becomes continuous, not emotional. Focusing on personal improvement also builds patience. You stop rushing success and start respecting the process. You understand that growth takes time and that consistency will always outperform intensity. When others burn out trying to prove something, you stay steady because your goal is not to impress, but to evolve. This way of thinking creates real confidence. Not the kind that depends on comparison or praise, but the kind that comes from knowing you are improving every day. You don't need to look around for validation. You feel it in your preparation, your discipline, and your results over time. When you commit to being better than yesterday, you free yourself from distractions and pressure. You move with purpose. You grow with clarity. And day by day, step by step, you build a version of yourself that cannot be compared to anyone else, only respected. At some point, you have to accept a hard truth no one owes you belief. The world is not waiting to support your dreams, and it is not responsible for your confidence. People are focused on their own lives, their own struggles, their own goals. Expecting others to believe in you before you prove anything is a mistake that holds many people back. Once you understand this, you stop feeling disappointed and start feeling empowered. When you realize that no one owes you encouragement, you stop searching for approval. You stop needing constant motivation from outside sources. Instead, you build something stronger, internal belief. That belief does not depend on praise, attention, or recognition. It comes from knowing how much work you have put in and how committed you are to your goals. There will be times when you feel alone in your journey. Times when no one notices your effort, supports your decisions, or understands your vision. Those moments are not unfair, they are necessary. They teach you independence. They force you to rely on yourself. And when you learn to stand on your own belief, you become harder to break. External validation is unreliable. One day people support you, the next day they doubt you. If your confidence depends on their opinion, it will rise and fall with their moods. But when your belief comes from within, it stays stable. You remain focused even when the noise changes. You don't slow down because someone stopped clapping. Understanding that no one owes you belief also builds humility and hunger. You stop expecting shortcuts. You stop waiting for opportunities to be handed to you. You create your own chances through preparation and consistency. You earn respect through action, not demanded through words. This mindset creates resilience. When things don't go your way, you don't complain or make excuses. You adapt, you work harder, you take responsibility. Because deep down you know that your journey is yours alone. When you accept that no one owes you belief, you stop waiting and start becoming. And that shift changes everything. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will, and that's okay. Because the belief of one person, you, is enough. Believe when it's hard. Believe when you're alone. Believe before results, before praise, before proof. Because once your belief becomes unshakable, the world will have no choice but to notice